Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the Jeep Wrangler and Wince from the Jurassic World Legacy Collection. Now in the previous video I talked about how some of the things have the Matchbox logo and some of them are just Mattel. And I was thinking about this some more, and I really do think that Matchbox probably only comes into play for the vehicles, which would make sense. Matchbox is primarily, a small car line of toys. I think what really it has to come into, because they're using actual brand names here, so Jeep Wrangler, Matchbox probably already has licensing rights to make, small Jeep Wrangler cars. So Mattel is really kind of reusing that already licensed name to apply to this, which is essentially a larger upscaled Matchbox car. It can fit the figures inside from the previous video that I did. You can see that featured here on the back, holds 4 figures. And it has the working Wince on the front. Unfortunately, that's really all this does. It doesn't have any kind of crazy action features or anything like that. I remember back in the day with the Kenner toys, sometimes you'd have missile launchers, or like the seat would fly out and could catch a dinosaur or something like that. But at least for this release, it's going for kind of a more classic look. And if you think about these Jeeps in the original movie, they didn't have any kind of crazy stuff like that. They were literally just Jeeps to get around the park. So crew could get around, visitors could get around. So at least for this release, this is trying to stay very faithful, very true to form, which I appreciate. I think that's very cool. Has a little hitch here on the back, might come into play for future releases. I'm not really sure. So I think, at least for the Legacy Collection, when they have a vehicle that they're staying very faithful and very true to form to an actual name brand vehicle, you're going to see that Matchbox logo. And I think that's for licensing purposes. When you have crazy vehicles like the Gyrosphere or something that's kind of created for the movie, that's not an actually official name brand vehicle, then you're not going to need the Matchbox logo. So that's my conjecture. I don't know that 100%, but it makes sense to me, and I think that's what's going on here. But yeah, again, so like I said, it advertises the winch here on the front. Not too much else going on with the packaging. Kind of a cool scene. This with the wrapped around the tree reminds me of Nedry in the first movie trying to get down the hill. So you can recreate that scene once with it. Hopefully they'll give us a Nedry figure at some point. I would love that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this out of this packaging here, and let's take a closer look. So here's the Jeep Wrangler out of the packaging. It looks very good. I have to say it's very authentic. It has the beige color with the red paint. Nice Jurassic Park logo on both doors, which is a sticker. You have the JP18 that is painted on. You have a little license plate sticker here in the front that says number 18, has cool Jurassic Park logo. And then you have stickers on here for the headlights. Now how the winch here on the front works, you just wheel it out, and you can hear a very tight ratcheting sound. And that's as far as it extends, which is a decent amount. Now you have this, the way they decided to tie this for you, and I guess technically you could untie it yourself if you want to push it a little bit further down. You could untie this knot and push it further down if you wanted to. Do note that these stress marks are me. I did this. It did not come like that. Basically, you dial this back in to pull the rope back in, and that all works very well. But when it hits that knot, it's going to stop. The knot can't really go any farther than that. So what I did was I clipped it on here just to kind of have a place to store it. And you can totally do that, but then when you try to get it back off, it becomes difficult. So if you're going to do that and clip it on there, just know to be very ginger with it when you're trying to get it back out, because it can be troublesome. I had to kind of like turn it like this and then kind of try to lift it out, so just be careful. But you can see it does roll very well, very smooth. Underneath, not really much going on. These holes here were just how it was anchored into the open packaging, so nothing extraordinary going on there. I kind of wish the hood opened, just because I feel like that would be a little bit more, if they're going for a realistic feel for this, I feel like that's something they could have done, have the hood open, or even the doors. The doors do not open. It is one solid piece. and the doors are just molded in there. Steering wheel also does not move, but you can see inside. Let me get a little bit closer here. There is a shifter in there and a steering wheel and some panels on the dashboard. Obviously none of which do anything. And then there's a little container here on the back, which I guess you can put weapons in. So let's go ahead and bring our figures in. If we take out, put the flare gun back there. Now I'm assuming I'll have to decide how these are supposed to go in. I don't know if the legs are supposed to stay straight or if they're supposed to bend. Okay, so you can leave them straight, and I'm going to put his hand on the side here. But it actually fits in pretty easily, as you just saw. So you can leave the legs straight. If you'd like to bend them a little bit, you can. But he fits in there pretty well, and it looks pretty natural. Let's bring in... Now, you know what? We'll have Ellie drive, and we'll have Muldoon sit in the back. So if we slide her in here, very nice and easily fits in there, which I appreciate. Now for Muldoon, because he kind of doesn't have as large of a cavity to sit, I think I'm going to have to bend his knees. And then he can sit in the back there. It says it can fit 4 figures. I don't have 4 to test it, but I guess I could just put 2 of these guys in the back. It seems like 2 in the back would be very difficult to accomplish, mostly just because of how the back seat is. But bend him at the knees and then sit in here. So I mean, I guess you can, but it seems a little awkward to me, and I'm sure I could be doing a little bit better job of getting them both to fit in here. But the problem is, with the front seats, you have a ton of empty space down in here for the legs. With the back seat, you don't really. So even when you... I guess I could bend their knees more. Man, their knees look weird when you bend them all the way. So if I put him in there, I guess that's true. I guess put their arms closer together. Bend the knees more. So yeah, it's not impossible. I mean, you can definitely fit 2 guys back there. I just think it doesn't look as natural. But you can very easily fit 3 figures in here. And since I only have 3 figures right now anyway, I don't have to worry about it. So I think the figures that fit in the front, I think, look a lot better. But you can easily have one person sit here in the back, and then you can put all of their weapons in this little space in the back here, which is handy. I appreciate that little cargo space. So there you go. You have your 3 figures tooling around Jurassic Park in your Jeep Wrangler. So I think it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's very nice. It's very faithful to what a Jeep Wrangler actually looks like. And if you were looking for, you know, very authentic to the movie, I think this definitely pays off in that regard. As far as for kids to play with, I think they probably get a little bored with it because it literally is just a Jeep. It just rolls and has the winch on the front. You know, maybe some kind of missile launcher or something would have been more fun. But like I said, I think the Matchbox line is going for authenticity over play value. I think that's kind of what that's looking for. Now, there are other vehicles that are compatible with these figures that are not authentic and are not part of the Matchbox line. I know there's a gyrosphere that I've seen that comes with a Claire figure, and that is not a Matchbox line vehicle, obviously, because you know, a name brand car company did not make a gyrosphere. So, well, I will get to the review of that very soon. We can take a look at that, but I think this looks good. If you're just looking for an authentic Jeep to the movie to put your figures in for a display piece, you will not be disappointed. And if you have a kid who just needs a vehicle for his figures to get around in, you know, they can have fun playing with this. It's a Jeep. It works. You know, it holds the figures very well. It rolls very well. The winch on the front gives some play value. I just think, when I think back to the original Kenner vehicles, specifically for like Lost World, They had like panels that flipped out with a radar dish and firing missiles, and there was like a spot where the dinosaur could attack and rip off the hood of the car, and there was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And I thought those were really fun. So I feel like they could have done something like that, especially like with the hood. The hood could have opened, or the hood could have, like I said, with dino damage, you could rip the hood off, so you could have like this just kind of come off and look like it's damaged and then clip back on. They could have done something, but like I said, I really do think that the Matchbox subline for Jurassic Park / Jurassic World is really going for authenticity, and for that, it definitely nails it. I mean, it even has BF Goodrich written on the tires, so I mean, you can't really get more authentic than that. So for an authenticity and just being a Jeep, this thing knocks it out of the park. Very authentic to the movie. The paint job's good. The stickers are good. The winch works. The tires roll very well. Holds the figures very well. For all of that, this thing knocks it out of the park. Could it have had more playability to make it more exciting for kids? Absolutely. But I don't know if that's necessarily what they're going for. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you guys. Where do you weigh in on this? Do you think it should have more play features? Do you think it's perfect as it is? Let me know what you think. Please like and share the video. Please subscribe. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at the Jeep Wrangler from Jurassic World Legacy Collection. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.